another situation that comes up frequently. Why can't coaches be on the field? Why do parents have to be back behind the ropes?
Well, that's a very good question, Jeff. And why do we even have ropes to begin with? And I think it's a real feather in the cap of the Ute Conference that we do, because this prevents many of the collateral damage injuries that could occur through the game of football as it spills over into the spectator areas and the bench areas of the game. The sideline, as you know, is a line that's painted on the field, and it marks the edge of the playing area, but the momentum of players, regardless of their age, whether they're 7 years old or 17 years old, can take them out of bounds very quickly, well beyond that. And in fact, that's why the ropes are there, are to keep grandma and grandpa safe. And especially little brothers and sisters who may not be paying close enough attention to the game from time to time. And all of a sudden, here comes two players barreling toward them at full speed, trying to gain that extra inch of yardage near the sideline. And the next thing you know, they're out of bounds, they're in your lap, and they've upended the umbrella chairs. And everything is chaos at that point. Well, I think you can see that the potential for injury, collateral injury at that point, is significant. So the Ute Conference does all that it can to prevent that, but we also need to keep in mind that there are people inside the ropes, the coaches, the players, and the chain crew, that must also be aware of player safety and their own safety in dealing with those pieces of equipment, the chain, the down box, and the players and the coaches, so that when there is a need, that those sidelines are kept clear. And it's important from an official standpoint, so that we can officiate the sidelines, so that we know exactly where the play stepped out of bounds. We have to be able to see that, both sides of the line. And if players are, over the edge of the line, looking down the field, trying to get a good view and to see how the play is developing, sometimes we can't see it and we can't make the right judgment at that point. But also, most importantly, is for safety. And we try to coach all of our chain crews who work with us that's the primary thing they need to keep in mind, is that when the play or a sweep or a play comes in their direction and threatens where they're standing and holding that stiff metal chain post, the line to gain or the down box, that they simply drop the equipment flat on the ground and get out of the way. Otherwise, we wind up with kids breaking their legs on the equipment being ruined, and on occasion, the chain operators will have arms, fingers, hands, and other injuries that they'll suffer if they don't abandon that equipment immediately and get out of the way. We can always go back and find where the spot was, and we'll go back and put them in the right place. That's the least of our concern at that point. We want to make sure that the players are safety.
They need a good 6 to 8 feet along that sideline to operate without coaches or players being out on the. Well, first off, if players are out on the field, that's a penalty.
Right, yeah, and we will ask them to step back. We'll ask the players, we'll ask the coaches, give me the sideline. We'll ask them, please give us the sideline. Give us a look at the sideline. Step back, get closer to the ropes, move your stuff back away from the sideline, and it's simply for their safety. And
so is it an automatic penalty if they're not?
It's not. It's not an automatic penalty. We would hope that our officials would work with coaches, and that coaches and players would work with us to achieve this. And we understand that the interest of the game is such that you just want to kind of be closer and closer and creep closer and closer to it to get a better look at it. And we understand that.
Coaches coach in practice, and they're right in the middle of the play.
Right.
And as a former coach, it was...
It's hard.
Yeah, it is hard.
It's
you
hard.
have to use a lot of self-restraint to stay behind that line.
Agreed.
So, coaches, please work with the officials. Officials, work with the coaches, and let's be civil about this.
And
because it's for safety.
It is for safety, and that's why the first time a sideline warning is called against a team, there is no yardage penalty involved. It is simply that, a warning. It's just a flag that says you need to get back further than what you are, or you're not working with me to help this situation maintain a safe margin of error. So that's the primary concern that we have, is the safety aspect of it, and that the coach is demonstrating some type of cooperation toward achieving that. And as long as we have that, we're in a pretty good shape, and the game will progress in a safe manner.